like a new rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this video came about by a reasonably stupid method. Okay, it's a reasonably stupid method. I was doing a live stream a couple of weeks ago, right? A couple of weeks ago, and I found this article that I wanted to go. I always look for like the headline, right, of the live stream. So I found this article. I thought, oh, this will be good to go over on a live stream. It seems something I'm actually genuinely interested in, right? It's an article from What Culture. The crimes of me, obviously, the biggest crime of the BBC is, in fact, the BBC itself, right? It's what the BBC has become in the last 5 years or so. So it's so sad. It really is so sad. And every crime kind of ekes out from that, right? The absolutely abysmal Doctor Who of Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall. And if you like it, great. I'm glad you like it. I don't think it bears much relation to Doctor Who whatsoever, other than very, very superficially. Yeah, I mean, she travels in a thing called the TARDIS, and she calls herself the Doctor, right? But that's really it. In terms of like the essence of the character, not even close, right? Doctor Who is a iconoclastic character, and Jodie Whittaker's take on it is very, very conformist, like really, really, really tightly conformist to I guess the Twitterati, right? Whatever Twitterati think Jodie Whittaker's Doctor thinks, because that's what I think Jodie Whittaker thinks, because I think that's what Chris Chibnall thinks as well, and I don't think they're very clever. Frankly, okay, that's really where I am with it. So that's the biggest crime, right? That is the biggest crime of the BBC. But let's look at this article instead. So anyway, I was just about to record another video. I found another headline. People are going, I don't know when I'm putting this out. My guess is maybe Saturday. I really don't know. I'm trying to get ahead because Sunday's a big fast day. Sunday with 25 hours without eating or drinking. Right, as a major morning. Unless the Messiah comes before Sunday, and if it does, I might do a live stream. Because I know it's the fast. That'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. I mean, like, you know, they also will beat our swords into plowshares, and yeah, we'll all be groovy, you know, make a teepee at the desk. It'll be nice. We'll have a good time. But if that doesn't happen, I'm double banking. I'm like trying to record ahead. So I don't know when this is going out. But anyway, this new story came out with Neil Patrick Harris saying he likes Ncuti Gatwa because he's sexy and he's going to be the first gay Doctor. I don't think the character is going to be gay, right? I think the character is going to be somewhat asexual. I hope that's what it's going to be. I think it'll be sexy, but I think the character is going to be somewhat asexual. I hope, because if he's... if they make the character gay, if they make Yasmin Finney the companion, probably the public will reject it, right? And that's really the bottom line. Because, you know, the reason everything's failing in TV, in entertainment, what reason? I mean, I just read an article this morning about how Marvel Studios are in a bit of a slump that translates to losing hundreds of millions of dollars. It's because they're creating media that fundamentally doesn't connect to the audience, right? That's really the bottom line. If they're creating media in a world where everybody is sexually fluid and has gender fluidity, and they really believe that to be the case, they believe a lot of weird things, right? And most people really don't believe that. Most people are kind of like live and let live. Look, if you want to dress as a woman, fine. And, you know, penis, I'll call you a woman. I don't really give a shit. It's fine. Doesn't really bother me. But now when you tell me I'm evil if I don't also completely believe you're a woman, that's where push comes to shove. And I think that's really where we are in culture. So I think Rusty Davies is quite a bit smarter than that. Is really the bottom line. I really do. I think he understands how to influence society through media, and it would not be by doing that. Anyway, this is not that video, right? This is not that video. And if by the time it comes out, Russell D. Davies will come out and say, oh yeah, Ncuti Gatwa is 100% a gay Doctor, right? The Doctor's going to be super gay. I'm leaving this in this video, right? Because it's good to be wrong sometimes, right? It's good to be wrong sometimes. We're all really so fixated on being right all the time. It's just stupid. I see people do the craziest thing. That's why I think people like double and triple down on really stupid things, because people don't want to be wrong, right? Yeah, people just don't want to be wrong. The people who supported Jeremy Corbyn in Labour, they just don't want him to have been an anti-Semite, right? A failure socialist idiot, right? They just don't want to be wrong, right? That's basically the bottom line. There's nothing wrong in being wrong. That's why I'm going to leave this in this video. As I said, if Ross D. Davis comes out and said, oh yeah, bent as a dog's back leg, if that is a politically correct expression, I don't know. Listen, it's so weird to navigate this as what I like to call a relatively normal person. But, it used to be queer was a bit of a slur, wasn't it? You were not normal queer. Now it's like the accepted word to use. So I don't really understand how this works, but my bottom line is I don't think he's gay. But this is not that video, right? I think the actor is gay, right? I have never seen him be gay. I'm not inside his head. I think he probably is, right? Somebody said he hadn't come out as being gay. I'm like, really? Really? I think he might have done. But, who knows what they're doing. Anyway, this is not that video. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. Fandabby double dose. Oh my God. Somebody did some rabbi fan art. I'll show it on my live stream, which will be on Tuesday, okay? Because this is not going out to after that. It was somebody did a fan art of me saying Fandabby double dosey with the crackers behind me. Freaking awesome, right? I just saw it this morning. I can't wait to show it around. But thank you very much for that, right? Thank you very much. What does every egotist like? Somebody drawing pictures of them voluntarily. Yeah, we're all into that. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up my Substack, my email newsletter. Put out tons of great stuff on that. Sign up my paid Substack, which I meant to put something out yesterday. I forgot. Never mind. Fine. With that, let's get into this article. After I just encouraged you to sign up to my paid Substack, right? And then I just told you the same sentence. Oh, but I'm shit at looking after you guys. Also giving shit service, the BBC. That was a good segue. Oh, tell you. Yeah, it's really good to have such a high opinion of oneself. Because I always whenever I say a joke I'm like, oh, I'm awesome, right? That's why I was never really into cocaine, right? I never really wanted cocaine because, man, I got a high opinion of myself at the best of times. I don't know what it'd be like with a bit of blow as well. Doctor Who, 10 behind-the-scenes decision we can't forgive. What I said, other than Jodie Whittaker and Christian, well, maybe there's some more, right? Maybe there's some more we're going to see. Moffat, you owe the Weeping Angels an apology. Well, it's not an apology. It's not his fault that Chibnall used them to get ratings. Okay, let's have a look. Man, this came out on July 18th. I'm recording this August 1st. That's how long I've been trying to get to this article. Even though Doctor Who is basically the best thing since sliced bread, okay, right now, I'm on board with you, mate, right? I am on board. This article is saying a lot of truth. Most fans will agree the creator of the show didn't always have a good day at the office. Yes, making TV on this scale is obviously a really hard thing to do, and the people, it's not the scale. Right, it's not the scale. It's that Doctor Who is a very unique animal. Right, it's really different from just about anything else on TV. That's why it's so hard to write for. He's a romantic hero, but he's asexual. I hope. Right, he's a romantic science hero. He normally doesn't use weapons, doesn't kill. Is anti-killing, but he does kill sometimes. Stephen Moffat really nailed what the character was. What was it? The Blu-ray Doctor Who the collection Blu-ray box sets. I think season 10, right? The first Pertwee one they put out, they had a great interview with him and Mark Gatiss about how great Pertwee was. And he goes through this thing, says, he's egalitarian but wants to know you're in charge. He's anti-sexist but would like you to make him a cup of tea. It's like he's a pacifist who works in the military. That's really Doctor Who, right? The contradictions, right? All those contradictions, but I think behind it, like this real moral force steamrolling over everything, and also pretty darn cool character. Great hero, right? Really morally complex hero. For me, I think really one of the greatest moments in Doctor Who is a scene from I've said this a million times before. And he said Destiny of the Daleks. Really? No. And don't get me wrong, I like Destiny of the Daleks. But no. It's the scene from Genesis of the Daleks. We got Tom Baker holding up the two wires and to the right. That blew my mind as a kid, right? That made me see things in so many more shades than black and white. Freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. So yeah, it's hard to write Doctor Who, and when you find somebody who can do it, you need wit and intelligence and cynicism and hope, right, to be able to be a good Doctor Who writer. I think Robert Holmes. You need to like authority. You need to be anti-authoritarian, like Robert Holmes, right? It was an ex-policeman. Yes, I totally see all that. So it's not the scale, mate. It's not the scale. And the people involved always have a respect for the amount of work they put in to Doctor Who. But we're allowed to criticize the show when we feel it's warranted. That will be the last 3 years. Okay, well, actually the last 5 years in real time, 3 years in Chibnall time. But and on that note, every decision that the writers, showrunners, producers, or even the BBC has as a whole has made have been good ones. I'm saying they all haven't been good ones. I think that's probably what they're trying to say. Whether it's a major gaffe like ruining a character, like the Doctor, that'll do it. Like right now, don't you? I live in fear of them saying they're bringing anything back. Right? I'm just like no, or they're gonna adapt something that I like. I just live in fear of that. Please don't do that. Right? Please don't. I always wanted a movie of Fahrenheit 451 or a mini-series. Like, I was really psyched for that Michael Jordan? Yeah, Michael Jordan version. I thought that would be great. It was shit. Oh, it was shit. But never mind. But yeah, just don't touch anything. Really, please. No, don't bring anything back. You can bring back Tim Shaw, right? Bring back the terrifying Tim Shaw. Whether it's a major... blah, blah, blah. It's hard to look at these shows and not feel disappointed, confused, and angry, and sometimes all three. That's my... no. What I feel when I watch a Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who is boredom. Like, I struggle to stay awake. I really do. Granted, there's a show about a floppy-haired alien in a magic box. Floppy-haired. Let me think. Well, Capaldi by the end. Matt Smith. Not Eccleston, but he was different in every way. Who else we got? We got McGann, we got David Tennant. Okay, they're all pretty floppy-haired. As McCoy. Colin Baker, definitely floppy-haired. Not a little bit Peter Davison. Tom Baker and John Pertwee, very famously floppy-haired, right? Very famously floppy-haired. I guess William Hartnell as well. And Patrick Downing had the Beatles wig. And then John Hurt. Ish. Okay, I don't know that's where I would go to, right? The floppy hair, but whatever. So let's not act like this stuff is the end of the world or the universe. To me, it kind of was. I really hated what they did with it. I mean, it wasn't the end of the world, but I wasn't happy, right? It didn't make me happy. Still, if we were in charge, we would have turned left instead of turning right, making the decision. Well, first thing I would do if I was in charge of BBC, I would fire the entire inclusivity and diversity departments. That would be a good way to send a message that the party's over, right? I think that might actually do the trick. And then I think fire people liberally, and then because they're all cowards, right? Why have they all kowtowed? Like, why is Chris Chibnall running to identity politics and whatever is the issue of the day, right? Why is he doing that? But partly because he's a bad writer. He's not a good enough writer to be able to write something as complex as Doctor Who. He really genuinely seen that. He's very, very simplistic. But mainly because they're weak people, right? Weak people, too weak to work at your craft at writing, too weak to produce something, and that's why weak people will fall in line when they get scared. Just liberally fire people, and you'll find it all goes away really quickly, right? Cancelling Doctor Who Confidential. Yes! Damn, do I agree with this. When do they cancel it? Right? I love Doctor Who Confidential. I learnt so much from that, right? I that was such a golden era, though, when we had Doctor Who Confidential, we had the Rusty Davies and... often Phil Coulson or somebody else doing the voiceovers on the episode, right? Was it a commentary on the episodes of the podcast? That was awesome. Oh, that was awesome beyond awesome. I mean, we just had such a great. That was such a great era. Britain's golden age, they called it. If you get the reference, you're a Doctor Who fan. When Doctor Who returned in 2005, it was accompanied by a behind-the-scenes program called Doctor Who Confidential, a making-of series that delved into the production of each main episode of the show, and it was fantastic, right? That's the sort of stuff I love, right? I really, really do dig all that stuff when they do a deep dive in there. It really was. It was fascinating. But they're bringing it back, though. It's called Doctor Who Unleashed. So, good news. That's one thing Russell T Davies is fixing. I don't think Shooter's going to be a gay doctor. I want to say that again. That's just the thing going on today. So, that's what's on my mind. Confrontation was utterly fascinating watch, giving us a meaty half hour. They were an hour at first. Oh, awesome. To delve into costumes, the stunts, music, locations, and everything else in between. You know what I really found fascinating? Russell T Davies's computer screen wasn't rectangular that way. It was rectangular that way, like it was a pad of paper. I had no idea, right? I think that's the sort of little stuff that I really like, and I really feel I understand him a lot more because. Well, I watched every episode. I watched every interview that he gave. I think I watched pretty much everything he made. I bought the writer's tale. That's why I don't think Shooter's going to be a gay doctor. I think he'll be a gay person playing the doctor. I think, again, is he out of the closet? Is there a closet nowadays? I don't know how these things work. There we go. Delve into the stunts, music, and locations, and everything else in between. And since it was usually broadcast immediately after Doctor Who had finished, a lot of fans got into the habit of watching the main show, then quickly flipping over to Confidential. Yeah, it was great. That really worked. It almost became a ritual, something that Doctor Who fans just did. Yeah, it's like the Christmas special, right? It's weird to think there were no Christmas specials in the classic era, right? And Big Finish, mate. Come on. Let's do a box set of Doctor Who Christmas special for classic era. Like, wouldn't you want there to be a John Pertwee unit party, Christmas party going on when the Master invades in some way? The Master is Santa Claus. Oh, I just wrote it for you. You've got to be able to take it from there, right? You've got to be able to take it from there. I'd love to see a Sylvester McCoy one, a very 80s Christmas special. I think they'll be fun. I think they would be super, super. And who wouldn't want to see a Tom Baker Christmas special, right? Do me a favor, have Rob Shearman write it, right? Rob Shearman write it and call it The Dalek Invasion of Christmas. This is gold I'm giving you. Freaking gold. So much better than your table read of Genesis of the Daleks. I'm like, why are you doing that? I mean, like, I don't know. But Big Finish, it's August 1st today, as I might mention when I'm going to this. I looked at what's coming out this month. Basically, I'm getting nothing from them, right? It's, I'm getting... There's a 9th Doctor set, which has a Christmas special on it, which I'm excited about. But other than that, they got the 6th Doctor set. And the cover of the 6th Doctor, he's like small in the corner, and he's like got Stunning and Brave Woman next to Stunning and Brave Woman. Next to Stunning and Brave Woman, he's with Bonnie Langford and Hebe, the new handicapped, or able, whatever the right word is, right? Wheelchair-bound companion who... From what I heard like the first episode she was in, and she was like angry and in a wheelchair. Played by, was it Ruth Madeley, who was freaking awesome, right? In Years and Years, even though I didn't particularly like Years and Years, because that's when she was a character, and characters got to have like little fun things to them too. And maybe that came in, but just not interested. And now there's another woman, I'm just not interested, right? 5. So where are we up to? As a result, it was a dark, dark day when Confidential was binned in 2011. Right, before the 60th and 50th anniversary, purely to cut costs. Fans are upset and disheartened. Well, didn't they close BBC 3? That's what it was, wasn't it? Petitions were formed, and even notable Doctor Who creators like Matt Smith. Plus, right, I hear my cat down here somewhere. Oh, there you are. Hey, Ninja, how you doing? Creators like Matt Smith and Neil Gaiman and Tom McCrae and Stephen Moffat were vocal disappointment with the BBC's decision. Okay, quite rightly too, right? Quite rightly too. The BBC did continue to produce behind-the-scenes content for Doctor Who, such as Doctor Who Extra in the Capaldi and all-access areas of Season 11, These were nowhere near as in-depth as Confidential, and so the cat's just climbing up at whatever he can find. Ninja, there's nothing there for you, mate. All right? He's a blind cat, but he can sense light. Oh, you fell off? You okay? Come here. You're okay. Yeah, right. He's a blind cat, so he likes to go to the light, so he's going to the window. Go to the light. When the BBC did continue to produce blah, 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 and shows were nowhere near as depth, and for season 12, we got nothing besides a few short, lackluster YouTube videos. Yeah! Dark day indeed. I do agree with you. I do very much agree with you. That was not something I was completely happy with. Kaz in the Christmas specials. The Crimes of Chibnall, right? We can't think of any more Christmas specials. No, bullshit. It's because you're a what's the word I'm looking for? You ideologically hate anything with a with a biblical origin, right? Absolutely detest it. Christmas has a big biblical origin. I'm bloody Jewish. Listen, it's against the rules for me to like Christmas, and I love Christmas. It's freaking awesome. English Christmas, American Christmas just sucks ass. English Christmas, freaking awesome, right? Mince pies, turkey, chestnut stuffing, parsnips. Oh, that's all so good. And people are nice to each other. People are happy. It's warm. It's lovely, right? It's absolutely lovely. It's hopeful. And the picture they're showing from Christmas Carol, which I think is the best of the Christmas specials, really encapsulates why Christmas is awesome, right? It's in the midwinter, right? And it's this light and warmth in the midst of the cold, right? It's the cold, bits of the rain, bits of the snow, if you're lucky, right? And it just gives you hope to get through that winter. It's wonderful, right? Wonderful. Of course, Chris Chibnall was a cunt, obviously. I can't think of any good for Christmas. And generally speaking, socialists, it just don't like Christmas. Nick Briggs always goes on about how much he doesn't like Christmas and he doesn't like lying to his kid. Listen, mate, it's not lying. They're telling them Santa's coming. No, it's not lying. They all know. Like, we had a thing about the tooth fairy. We don't do Santa Claus because, I'm a rabbi and it's Christmas. And I live in Israel, in Judea and Samaria, in an Orthodox Jewish community, right? And I'm already the biggest weirdo. Am I the biggest weirdo in town? I'm amongst the biggest weirdos in town. That's really a hard question to answer. So, I can't put a wreath up. Also, my wife wouldn't go for it. Because she grew up with American Christmas, which sucks ass. English Christmas, awesome, beyond awesome. And it was such a great tradition, right? It really was a great tradition, and they've lost the spot. I think they can probably get it back with Russell Lee Davies. For the first dozen years of the Revived series, and I love that you're saying revived. Good, very good. Watching Doctor Who Christmas special was a tradition for Who fans everywhere. I loved it. I loved the Queen's speech. I loved the Christmas special. I loved it, right? Freaking loved it. Because I like Christmas. How much do I like Christmas? I'm Jewish. I'm a rabbi, and it's not our holiday, and I just enjoy it. Right? Listen, you shouldn't have made those mince pies so freaking awesome. And everyone else who, as well as anyone else who was drunk, overstuffed, and sat in front of the telly at 7 o'clock on December 25th. Yeah, perfect. From 2005, The Christmas Invasion, to 2017, Twice Upon a Time. Oh, I love Twice Upon a Time. Absolutely adore Twice Upon a Time. I know a lot of people hate it. I know a lot of people don't like the David Bradley First Doctor, or they felt he wasn't respectful to. I think it was just a bit of playful love, really. I don't think it was being disparaging to William Hartnell at all. I mean, the basic line was, he said to Bill Potts, if you use language like that, you deserve a good smack bottom. Which is what he said to, did he say that to Vicky or Susan or something? Like, that's very in character. I think that was all it is, really. And, I have to tell you, when you weigh up the world, right? When you weigh up the world of the 60s to the world of the 2020s, there's a lot of advantage in the 2020s. We have a lot more openness, right? There's a lot less prejudice. There was prejudice in the 60s, absolutely, right? And I don't think that was a good thing. But in terms of if you can add up all the happiness, in the country or in the world, right? Let's say the country, because you stick with one culture. If you could some way do that, I would say there was a lot more happiness. I mean, even for people of marginalized communities, I think there was a lot more happiness in the 60s than there is now, right? Just a lot more. Fine, so 20 treated to 13-hour-long specials. While not all of them leaned into Christmas theme too heavily. Yes, they didn't they? I mean, that's the template. Rusty Davis said, okay, can I remember all of them? Fine. So we had Christmas Invasion. It was Christmas Invasion. David Tennant's second one was Rose Had Left. So it must be Voyage of the Damned, right? Voyage of the Damned. And then the third one, should I just open up an episode guide? Doctor Who Christmas specials. Let's see if this will give me a list. Classic era. There were no in the classic era. Christmas Invasion. Oh, Runaway Bride. Oh, man, that was very Christmassy. Shut up. Yeah, and they improved the robot Santas. Voyager Dam. It was a disaster movie on Christmas with Bernard Cribbins. Oh, miss you, Bernard Cribbins. I love that he came to set with and he put his own mistletoe or something, or he painted put his own mistletoe in his own. He just made the character of Wilf. Oh, wonderful. Next Doctor, Victorian Christmas with Cybermen. How much more Christmas you can get? End of Time. Well, it's modern Christmas. That was the least Christmassy, right? And the second episode did feel like a New Year's special as opposed to a Christmas special, right? Christmas Carol, the most Christmassy one ever, and by far my favourite. Dr. Winter and the Wardrobe, that's the weakest one, and it had, I would say, superficial. Well, it was much more superficially Christmas, and that was the least Christmassy, but still pretty darn superficially Christmas. The Snowman, Christmassy, the Time of the Doctor. Which one's Time of the Doctor? Is that the one with the Time of the Doctor would have been that. Yeah, that was the anniversary one. It goes to Messages Echoing Through Time. And Time of the Doctor. This was the Doctor regenerating, right? So, yeah, he went to Christmas. He lived. They called the town Christmas. It was a bit of a parenthetical, but they're all leading into it. Last Christmas. That's the one with the head crabs and the Santa Claus in it. Husband's River Song, least Christmassy one. Return of Doctor Mysterio again, but then we had Twice Upon a Time. Where else would the Doctor go to die, right? You think he's going to die other than the World War I answer? Freaking perfect. Absolutely freaking perfect. And Toby Whithouse as a German soldier, fantastic. Mark Gatiss as the Brigadier's grandfather. It's just fantastic, right? All of them were absolutely fantastic. Fine. So I'm just like wading through this. Catching up with the 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctor after they've been off our screens for sometimes, but those days are over. Disappointingly, Christmas episode were dropped by Chris Chibnall took over as showrunner for Series 11. Instead of Christmas special, we got a 2019 New Year's special, Resolution. And yeah, why we got this is the idiocy of Chibnall. There's a resolution of Daleks, so then the Daleks are coming. I don't want. What? Oh no! People might get excited and be. For God's sake! We saw pictures of the Weeping Angels and Sontarans for Doctor Who Flux, and they denied they were there. Like, who do you think is waiting to be? Doesn't want to be spoiled. God, it's not even a spoiler. Instead on the following year, things worsened when the special episode was dropped entirely. Well, they had Spyfall. They put money into that. And it was Spyfall Part 1. It wasn't even 2-part. It was just pathetic. Considering the lofty heights, Doctor Who's lofty heights, Doctor Who's ratings achieved on Christmas Day, quite what motivated the decision to mess with the schedule is anyone's guess. Well, I told you my guess. It's because Chris Chibnall hates any biblical value, right? Because that's what the Twitterati. That's really the underpinning outlook of the Twitterati, to hate anything with any biblical values. It does look more ill-advised when you compare the viewing figures for Resolution and Spyfall Part 1 to something like Voyage of the Damned or even Last Christmas. They're good, but Doctor Who's Christmas, but they aren't Doctor Who's Christmas special. They're not even that good. right? They're not even that good. And they're getting progressively. And it's not because it was on Christmas, one of the reasons. But if they had put on Christmas, right, it would have been totally exposed and people would have seen how awful Jodie Whittaker is much more. Right? I think the last special that was an Easter one, essentially, it was Legend of the Sea Devils. And that got, 1.5 live viewing. Like, just the worst rated episode ever. Chris Evans didn't want to start his tenure with a Christmas episode, fair enough. Cemented by the FM in a 12-year streak. Fair enough, but Christmas Day slot is so important that Moffat abandons plans to leave at the end of Series 10 and come together twice upon a time. This is why I think last-minute things are always good. I'm always happy with that. So all that rushing about for nothing, and Christmas will just feel a bit more empty. Yes, I agree with you. It does feel more empty. Crediting the Doctor as Doctor Who. What's wrong with that? I like that. And that was kind of, again, it's kind of fun. Look, I understand they credited the Doctor in the 80s as the Doctor. What they do it now? Is it Doctor Who or is it the Doctor? I really don't know. But I just find that quite charming, right? I don't have a problem with it. Oh, still Doctor Who. Yeah, it's fun, right? It's fun. Okay, this is incredibly petty. I just disagree with you on this, mate. There's probably a good portion of the family that doesn't care about small details like this. We care about everything, right? But our inner Whovian cringes enormously when we notice that the lead actor is credited as Doctor Who. No! It's a bit of bloody fun! Oh, God, fun. Ooh, no fun for me! Because most people, because as most people know, that isn't the character's name. It is if you watch Doctor Who and the Daleks, which has very little in common with, Dead Planet. I'm talking about Roy Castle's going around calling Doctor Who, Peter Cushing's being Doctor Who. This wouldn't get credit. The Doctor wouldn't get his or her mail delivered to Mr. and Mrs. Who isn't a surname. Doctor Who is the name of the show. We did warn you this was petty. I just think you're wrong about this, right? What's odd about the issue is it's actually it was actually connected to Peter Davison years that and they uncorrected it for 2005 revival. Yes, they corrected for the Davison years onwards, and it uncorrected for the revival. That might be an indication you might be wrong, right? I know this is like, what? Wrong? I can't imagine. I guess it's just an opinion thing. In the first chunk of the classic era, Doctor Who and Doctor Who were used with the latter being seen in Tom Baker's final story, Logopolis, then Peter Davis's first story, Cast Revolver, The Doctor. Yeah, it was that's why John Nathan Turner was beloved, right, when he first came in. But then for some reason, Christopher Eccleston was labelled as Doctor Who for the duration of his time before David Tennant requested the credit be changed to Doctor for the Christmas onwards. That's interesting. See, that's why I like having a fan play the main character, right? I think that's a good idea. But, okay. It's this irksome crediting was somewhat forgivable in those early formative years of the show, but when it was still finding its way. But Eccleston's credit is just bizarre. No! Again, it's a bit of fun. Wasting Victorian Clara. Well, that's an interesting point of view. Yes! I would say yes. I look, Victorian Clara was by far the sexiest Clara. I mean, not even close. Yes! Wow, more I think about it, she was a great character. I think she was the best version of Clara. Oh, okay. In my fevered imagination, you know, it'd be great. You somehow we say Rusty Davis and Sony make Doctor Who Universe a streaming portal, right, on Disney Plus. I was on Disney Plus. Apple, go on Apple. You buy it, my son. Go on Apple, my son. Buy that and Paramount, right? And so they want to make more content, and somehow they talk Capaldi into doing more. I don't know how, right? Doing like to fill in between seasons. Maybe you can have Doctor Who all year round, or like a lot more of it, right? Yeah, like in Star Trek where you have all these different series. Only one of them is watchable. But imagine if they were all watchable. Do a series where Capaldi goes and meets picks up the Victorian Clara and goes on adventures. Or, was it Ashiad or whatever her name is who went off with Clara? There's a lot you could have done with that character. Rose Tyler, Martha Doan, Donna Noble, Amy Pond, and Clara Oswald. Bill Potts, Yaz Cup. Notice the pattern. Every single one of them is a fuzzy young woman from contemporary. Notice the pattern. Wait a minute. Joe Grant, Sarah Jane Smith. I mean, like, it's the basic template for a companion. Yeah, well, really? Oh, why do we make this a feisty young woman from contemporary Earth? Oh, didn't think of that, other than every other time that we've done it. And even when they're from, like, a historical Earth, by the next episode, they're from contemporary Earth. They soon got Victoria out of her crinolines into a miniskirt for Tomb of the Cybermen, and well done for that, may I say. Then they had one line said, "Oh golly, is it okay to come out?" I said, "Yes, darling, yes, totally okay. Put a bikini on; it's even better." So if everybody got a contemporary companion after a story, right? Not really a diverse bunch if you group them together like that. No, the idea is, that's the archetypal companion. Fine. Now that not there's anything wrong with this. The majority of these companions are beloved within the fan base, and rightly so. Yeah. But a tiny bit disappointing that the classic era's wider range of companions type, non-human Romana. Oh, shut up! Oh, they didn't do all the crap again. Romana was a cute idea, right? Having somebody who was somewhat equal to the Doctor, but I guess he did that with River Song, right? Okay. According to Neil Gaiman, who wrote Doctor's Wife and Nightmare in Silver, Clara was originally meant to stay in a Victorian version of the character who we met in the 2012 special. Oh, Snowman. That would have been better. Based purely on the taste we got of her in that episode, Clara's Victorian persona would have been far more interesting watching the modern day version. Yes! I totally agree with this. I really totally agree with this. And was coming after a string of contemporary young women that we've had at that point. I mean, the second companion after Rose was supposed to be, and the first thing was going to be essentially a scullery maid, and he was Ashley Day was having dinner with Julie. I told you I listened to a lot of his interviews and all the Doctor Who Confidential. I think there was in Doctor Who Confidential, right? Instead of Martha, it was supposed to be a 19th century scullery maid, and he went to dinner with Julie Gardner and he started telling her the idea. And as he was telling her, he said, "You know what? This doesn't work." He cancelled it right there, just by speaking it out. That's really incredible. Basically, was a modern day version. After a string of contemporary young women, it would have been nice at that point to have a more old-fashioned Victorian governess. That would have been a refreshing debate. But it wasn't that she was a Victorian governess. She was a super modern Victorian governess, right? She was like breaking the boundaries of who she was. And yeah, that was great. Plus, considering the change to modern Clara was made when the scripts of Series 7B were already underway, sticking with Victorian Clara might have made the production of these episodes look a lot smoother, possibly improving the run of the show. Many feel was uneven. Yeah, you know what they could have done? They could have killed off Victorian Clara like halfway through, and then he meets modern Clara, right? Wouldn't that be crazy? That would have been, and I think that would have worked. But listen, season 8, not the best season. I'm sorry. Just look, Sherlock was doing very well. Revealing the moon was an egg. Yes. This was a bad. Although, here's the weird thing about this episode, right? Up until that terrible ending, it's a really great episode. When you get to that terrible ending, you go, "Oh God!" But everything up until then, much better. And I do like Capaldi's Doctor in that, how he says, "No, I'm treating you with respect and let you decide for yourself." I thought that was great. Doctor Who obviously requires some more suspension and disrelease if you're going to enjoy it. It deals a lot with a ridiculous concept, but for the most part, they're easy to accept because we know that it's a sci-fi show, and nothing should be taken too seriously. Yeah, like calling him Doctor Who. It's not such a big deal, mate. But Doctor Who really pushed how far some fans would keep the disbelief and suspended over Series 8, kill the moon, and they also had the Forest of the Night as well. Not good. And frankly, stupid revelation that the planet Earth moon is a giant egg. Yeah, it was dumb. It just didn't work. It goes without saying that the real-life science behind the preposterous, but even within the weird, wacky doctoral universe, it's a massive stretch. I tend to agree. Even if you can buy the fact that it took until year 2049, when it's set, for humanity to discover the orb in the sky, the one they've been studying for decades, more hundreds of years. Like the Victorian scientists started mapping it. Could be used to make an omelette in the way a newborn alien just immediately lays an egg, the same size as the original one. Yeah, it was a beat too far. Right, it would have been quite easy to write a Peter Harness to set the story on an alien world with an alien moon. Ugh, would have been much better. I agree with you. I really genuinely agree with you. But the basic logic doesn't necessarily need to apply. But sadly, he didn't do this. What's next? The oceans are actually Satan's toilet water. Okay, I actually have to tell you, in Kabbalah, oceans are very analogous to the afterlife. Blue Sky is a giant Smurf butt cheek. Well, I don't think I like that episode. Clouds are alien dandruff. Anything is possible. Yeah, it was shit, right? It was shit. What can you do? BBC intentionally spoils John Sims' return. Oh man, yeah, Rusty David bitched about this all the time. But more so is when they spoiled the rather crappy Dalek human hybrid in Daleks in Manhattan. The revelation that the Razor was actually John Sims' mother hiding under a rubber mask was one of the best moments of season 10 finale. I don't believe I don't remember them spoiling that. I mean, I would have known, I think, but one of the most mind-blowing bits on New Who, yes, so perfect master, right? Pulling off in disguise, and also that's World Enough in Time, right? And then Doctor Falls, awesome. I mean, that especially that opening, fantastic. And I love the idea of the Doctor and Master fighting again. We all love that. I mean, that was end of time, right? When the Master fights off Rassilon. Then you can say beat off Rassilon. No. So if you know what beating somebody off means, good boy, very good. Fighting off Rassilon. For the Doctor, you love all that stuff, but the idea of them fighting together at the end of the universe, we all want to see that at some point. A reconciliation between these two friends. I think the best description of the Master and the Doctor's relationship was it season 9 opener, the Dalek one, which I thought was excellent, and I liked Capaldi coming on the tank with the guitar and the shades. I liked all that. I know a lot you hate it. I can only tell you the truth, mate. Right? So, what was I saying? Yeah. So I just think that was Missy being a somewhat perfect master, perfect bonkers master, right? Oh, but she was explaining the Doctor and her relationship, right? Doctor and Master relationship, and he had a husband and wife walking a dog, right? And she said, "You're the dog," and that's basically true, right? That's look, Mickey was a tin dog, mate. Or at least it would have been if we hadn't spoiled it 3 months earlier. For some bizarre reason, perhaps to get attempt a ratings boost, the BBC actually put the goddamn news story that spoiled Johnson's return took place in the cliffhanger. Well, why do they do that? The episode treats the Master's reveal as a shocking plot twist. But for the most fans, it was anything but. But listen, fans, this is a trope that fans lead into, the Master pulling off the disguise, right? I think the normies didn't know about it, and I thought that's really the important thing. Even those that managed to avoid the news storyline was spoiled during the Next Time trailer of the previous episode, the Eaters of Light, during which a full unobscured shot of Sim as the Master. Just why? Well, you didn't know he was going to come out as the Master, and that even though I knew he was in it, I didn't pick up that he was that guy. I think, as I remember, right? It feels there's somewhat disconnection between Stephen Moffat and the BBC's marketing, because Moffat, known for him being extremely secretive, not secretive as Chibnall, clearly wanted this big twist. I think he wanted it to be a big twist that the fans knew about and enjoyed. Maybe. But the BBC had other plans. Hello, Missy, I'm the Master. Well, no shit, dude. Colin Baker refuses to regenerate. Well, that was I think that was not a BBC decision. That was a Colin Baker decision because he was very wounded. You know how wounded he was? Get the season 24 Blu-rays because they're fantastic. But they do this thing called Behind the Sofa where you have different people watch the episode of Doctor Who and comment on it, and they cut it all together. So you have Colin Baker and I think Michael Jaston watching it, and you can still hear his pain when we were seeing Sylvester McCoy in his costume. Said, "Oh, he's got my little buttons on. Oh, my teddy bear buttons." I felt so bad for him. When it comes to tugging at the heartstrings, although you can get from Big Finish, they did the final adventure, and that was really good, right? That's a really good way of ending out his time. And adds a much bigger story, but dovetails into Time of the Rani. When it comes to tugging at the heartstrings of fans, regenerations are some of the biggest moments in Doctor Who. And because of this, these scenes are among the most memorable moments in each Doctor's era. Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor regeneration was no exception here. But instead of being memorable for any positive reasons, it really is only remembered because how clunky and underwhelming it was and flat out bad. It did the trick, right? It did the trick. It was, I think, the best they could do in the circumstances. It was better than the rest of the story, which wasn't much cop. Man, it just took him a year to learn how to make great Doctor Who. How sad. There's no epic speech. Again, you can find it on YouTube. Somebody took the audio and they put together a video of it where you have Colin Baker's epic speech. No epic speech, no valiant final stand, and hell, we don't even get to see his face. Baker's Doctor steps into the TARDIS at the end of Ultimate Foe, and then at the start of Time of the Rani, he's lying on the floor of the console, face down, just dead. Well, he banged his head on the console, apparently. Someone then turns him over, and their faces are glowing, and Sylvester McCoy is sporting a curly wig that made him look like Colin Baker, sort of. It's laughable, cringy, lackluster. It's not that bad. Will you get over it? And it's entirely Baker's fault? No, it's entirely Michael Gray's fault. Although it's not really Michael Gray's fault because his criticism was completely on the money, right? I'm watching season 22 and he was right? Michael Gray was right about everyone else's criticism. Although I really wish, Andrew Cartmel could have made an appointment with Michael Gray and say, listen, I know you hate Doctor Who and you think it's a piece of shit. I get it, and for mostly, I hear it. It is. I can see why you don't like it, right? I want you to watch this first episode of Remembrance of the Daleks with me because I think we've done something great. I think if he saw that, he would have rescheduled it and put it somewhere because it's objectively good. Whereas season 22, there are good bits in it, and there's much of it I absolutely adore, right? I adore the whole thing. I really do. I'm watching Time Lash. It's a bit rough, right? It's a bit rough. There are things about it, but it just objectively wasn't good, right? I can see why it wasn't doing well. And he had a good eye for what was good and what was bad. Like, he came in and he saw the pilot for Allo Allo on the shelf, and they were scared to put it out, right? They're scared to put it out because they didn't want to be offensive. And he said, no, this show's going to be huge. Are you out of your mind? And he's absolutely right? He was absolutely right. So, I don't know. Whose fault is it? There's no one person, right? There's no one person. You have John Nathan Turner cast Colin Baker and had the rather bad idea for his coat. Eric Saywood didn't know what to do with it and was really pissed off and floundered, right? And that's why I think season 22 and season 23 somewhat lackluster, right? Which ended up with Colin Baker being fired in a terrible way. I do agree with him. Treated terribly by the BBC. Fine. The actor was angry that he'd been fired from the role. Also, the middle finger gesture to the BBC. He flat out refused to return. Well, his rationale, which was correct, but it's all motivated by hurt and anger, was that, well, I can't book 4 episodes, and that's going to, I got to go get other work now. Leave me alone. Baker has since apologized as calling the move selfish. Well, hindsight's 2020. Everybody, I understand the hurt and pain he had. I really do. But not only did he deny the Doctor of Quality send-off, he also denied his fans a chance to say goodbye properly. Baker firing Baker's firing was one of the bumps in the road to the 89 cancellation, which apparently the only reason it went to 88 and 89 is because Michael Gray didn't even know it was happening. He thought it ended in 87, right? He thought it really he was committed. Or yeah, no, he thought it ended in 86. He thought it was committed to one more series, and they just kept making them. I don't understand. I think because the Doctor Who fandom made too much noise, right? I really do, and that's why I made it to 89, which we got 2 freaking awesome seasons, right? I have to say. That said, it's easy to forgive considering it led to the 2005 revival. Go check out Big Finish: The Final Adventure. That's excellent, right? Or look for it on YouTube. Somebody made a video of it. It's really good, right? It's really excellent. Showing the Weeping Angels move. I disagree with you on this one, right? They can only move when nobody's watching them, and it was so scary. It was somebody got, yeah, that was so scary. So I disagree with this one. I think that actually worked very well. Making the Weeping Angels shit as they did in Flux, like I hate that. With a great cliffhanger though, the Doctor turning into Weeping Angel, great cliffhanger, resolved in a very boring way. Ask any Doctor Who fan to name their top 10 episodes, and the high probability that Blink will be on that list. There's so much love about the story, but on a whole, its strongest asset is definitely its villain, the lightning quick, banged, and time displacing menace known as the Weeping Angel. Yeah. Fantastic invention, right? Moffat is great when it's coming up with scary monsters. I mean, so many great ones. I'm looking at my shelf right now. There's TikTok robots, the Silence. I love the Silence. Weeping Angels. Yeah. No, he was great coming up with really good villains. I even like the Atraxin. They're such an ingenious creation that quickly became one of Doctor Who's most iconic baddies, and so they were. There was a lot of excitement in the air when it was announced the Angels will be returning for the season 5 2-parter. Excellent! Oh my god! Excellent beyond excellent. It was one of the greatest Doctor Who's ever. That 2-parter. Beautiful production values. Even the teleport special effects for the papal soldiers, which was like a whirlwind of smoke as they beamed down. Everything about it was excellent, right? What's his name playing the guy from Game of Thrones? I don't remember his name. He also played Margaret Thatcher's father in the Meryl Streep version of the Margaret Thatcher story. Can't remember. Fantastic. Resulting 2 episodes, Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, are both really strong overall, while some fans prefer the small-scale horror of Blink to the bigger, more blockbuster approach seen in season 5. They're both excellent. I mean, one builds on the other. The Angels are still the Angels after all, and for the most part, they look pretty creepy standing there in their as they did in their debut episode. That disembodied voice of Angel Bob shivers, yeah, and then because of that. They've been able to be on Big Finish a few times. It's been really good, right? It's surprising how good it works. But there's still a hugely incredible aspects of the depiction in the 2-parter. And a short scene where the angels in Flesh and Stone were seen to move. Considering that the horror of the angels is you never see them move. That's what made it so horrific. It was awesome. And it felt like stone moving, right? It was great. Literally, since they can only move when your eyes closed, why Moffat thought it was a good idea is anyone's guess. Because it was a good idea. That's why. The 2 episodes would have been fine without this inclusion, and heck, right after it, River teleports Amy away from the angel. So why not just write the script so she gets teleported away a minute earlier? Come on, Stephen, because it was scary. That's why. Ending every spin-off show, well, nothing has the same legs as Doctor Who, right? And the spin-offs that we're looking at right now, this was all the Russell T Davies verse, which we're getting another one. We're getting another. With the gay Doctor? I don't think so. You know what? I'm thinking I might put this video out on Wednesday now. I had some reservation about how this would go. This is actually a great article. I'm really, really into it. See, normally, if I think a video's going to get... if I find a video that's going to be, I think, interesting to me, but doesn't have. It's a very like insular fandom video, right? Basic news videos people watch a lot, but it's like a navel gazing fandom video. I normally put those on Saturdays because that's when I get the least traction, right? This was down for Saturday. I think I'm moving it to Wednesday. This is great. I mean, the article's great. I'm not praising my video, but I think the video's pretty good too. This is why I don't do cocaine, right? This is why I don't do cocaine. We like to revisit the same themes in the videos. Over the decade, Doctor Who spin-offs shows Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood, and Class was garbage. Garbage. I liked the first episode because they had Capaldi in it, but generally speaking, this school looked the kids looked in it like older than the kids in Please Sir. Remember Please Sir? It's like it was a teacher with an unruly class in the 70s or 60s. And all the kids in it, especially when they did the movie, right? I love that when they make movies of 1970s TV shows in the night. I love the Are You Being Served movie. It's just one of the things I love in life. What can I tell you? They should have made an Hello Hello movie. Oh, you still can. Give it. Oh no, they're all a bit old now, aren't they? Because Hello Hello really, really, really did depend on the sexy French maid thing. And I don't think you can get that. What's her name? Michelle, whatever. And he had another really weird-looking woman was in later episodes. But they need to be sexy, right? They need to be sexy for that Hello Hello to work, in my opinion. Where am I? Why couldn't Nicola Bryant got the job as one of the sexy French maids? I would have been up for that. And certain bits of my body would be very up for that. But Class was cancelled just after it ended, with the most recent Class airing in 2016. These shows expanded Doctor Who. The reason they stopped making it because Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall came on, and the popularity and interest in Doctor Who absolutely died, right? Absolutely died. It's so stupid. Because Moffat had set up a perfect female Doctor Who type show with Clara and Aisha Dad or whatever they were. They went off in a TARDIS. You could have done a whole feminine show about that, and it would have been great. And a sister show, and they both would have fed off each other. But no, you had to be an idiot. Well, there you go. These shows expand the world of Doctor Who with fantastic characters who are dealing with various alien attacks, while Sarah Jane Smith can no longer continue to do the unfortunate passing of Liz Sladen. They're doing Rani Adventures on Big Finish. I think that's a great idea. I really do. It's really quite annoying the BBC doesn't tap into the unlimited possibilities that the Doctor Who spin-off could explore, either with Torchwood Class or a brand new original series. They're gonna, mate. They are gonna, right? It's gonna happen. The breaks between the seasons growing bigger and bigger in recent years, and with Big Finish proving that there's a massive appetite for Doctor Who content outside the main show, why not schedule a spin-off to fill in the gaps? Again, Capaldi with Victoria and Clara. I'm up for that. But for some reason, Victoria and Clara has to lose all her clothes on a lot of times and be in the Victorian underwear, okay? I don't know why. I don't know why that happens, but it's very important that it does happen, okay? Very important. Once again, a spin-off. The constant stream of Doctor Who-related content, that's coming! 2023. Shooting Gutman's Doctor Who will be part of a onslaught of Doctor Who. We have no idea what the 60th anniversary is going to be. They keep saying scenes for the 60th anniversary. What the hell does that mean? I guess we're going to find out. Again, it's not like the infinite universe of Doctor Who doesn't present many options. And it's not like the fan base is some niche, tiny corner of the TV community. But for some reason, the BBC just doesn't seem bothered about putting in the effort to produce a spin-off show. Even the classic era, they can. K9 and Company, they just did the pilot. And the worst titles of all time. K9, K9. And that's actually a better rendition of it than the one they used. Hopefully, return of Captain Jack Harkness in Series 12 is a sign that Torchwood may be revived. No, John Barrowman is cancelled beyond cancelled at the BBC, right? What's going to happen when Bad Wolf take over? I don't know. Erasing so many classic episodes. Again, that you're not mentioning Jodie Whittaker makes you look a bit stupid, right? I mean, like, if you're not mentioning the Whittaker Chibnall era, it makes you look a bit dumb, doesn't it? obviously, I mean, that's the biggest crime on the BBC. Just on looking at the metrics of it, they're not about my personal taste. The metrics of it it wasn't like that. Erasing so many classic episodes. Yeah, listen, it was a bit of an own goal. But, you know, in the early 70s, they had no idea what was coming. Like, do you have any idea what technology is going to be around in 2030? I don't. Could be anything. Could be absolutely anything. Do you have any idea how TV is going to be distributed in 2030? No. Right? I mean, it seems silly. It seems silly to criticize them. And I understand as fans, we're angry, we're hurt, we're upset. I understand that because I'm angry, I'm hurt, and upset. I can't blame these people for just doing their bloody jobs, right? And I don't think it was a malicious thing, right? I really don't. I just think it was they needed to do this. That was her job. She did her job. Doctor is one of the most iconic beloved shows of all time, considering how ridiculously popular it is. It's quite hard to believe how much of it is missing. Well, not really. Again, you just got to understand the time it comes from. It was a common practice in the early days for the BBC to get rid of older episodes. Well, videotape was expensive. That was the idea. Videotape was expensive, so they erased the videotapes without checking that BBC Enterprises had copies. Because they didn't need it, because they couldn't sell it anymore, because it was black and white, and no one's buying black and white shows anymore. There we go. Get rid of so many old episodes, ones that had already been broadcast. Well, they're not going to get rid of ones that weren't broadcast. And while some of these gaps have been filled in by animated reconstructions, now over. Again, another thing the Jodie Whittaker era has killed. The animated reconstructions. A lot of Hartnell and Trout stories simply aren't available to watch in original form. Said this a million times. If anybody can get this idea to Big Finish, right? This is the way they want to go. Do a reconstruction, much in the same way those college kids, or school kids, did Mission to the Unknown, which I thought was fantastic, right? In the same way, do a reconstruction of, like, Marco Polo. Crowdfund it, right? Crowdfund it. The only way you get a copy of it, you can either get it digitally, you can get a physical copy, is by crowdfunding it, right? But then they gift it to the BBC, which they then can use in their box sets or put it on TV or whatever. And have the Dave Bradley Doctor do it. Firstly, they would fund it. Secondly, they will make money. And I think will open up a lot of new opportunities on BBC. I'll even get Stephen Noonan to it. I liked his first Doctor, quite frankly. Is it so you just wanted to know there are some Doctor Who serials you just can't see? Well, again, I feel this way about the new Adventure novels, which I think is an era that's being deleted from memory, or pretty much has been already. That you rewatch the classic era will find incomplete. Granted, back in the 60s, the BBC didn't know how massive Doctor Who would would go on to be. Yeah, I mean, really, they really didn't. But and even then, when Pertwee was the Doctor, it was colour, it was contemporary, it was cutting edge. All those black and white stories with Hartnell and Trout were like from the Ark. You know, including the Ark. I like the Ark. I do like the Ark. It's a good story. But they didn't think anybody would like it. They didn't think they'll be weirdos like me. They didn't envision that in 50, 60 years' time there will be weird people sitting in basements with rooms full of Doctor Who merchandise like this, screaming into a camera to broadcast internationally. Right? They didn't think that would happen. I don't think many people did, really. Where we're up to. But in keeping with much of the idea after the corporation's decision to exterminate so much of its footage, something we cannot forgive. Again, that you don't have Chibnall Whittaker as number one does discredit you somewhat, doesn't it? On the plus side, every single missing story still exists in audio form, and the footage is currently assumed to be lost. Could be out there somewhere lurking. I doubt it. But for now, you done goofed, BBC. I think a little bit, right? But I think you're being a bit mean. Quite frankly, that's what I think. I think you're being a little bit mean there. So there you go. The top 10 crimes of the BBC. Not really, including Whittaker and Chibnall. That's got to be number one, right? And you can basically do the whole thing based on the Whittaker and Chibnall's era, but then you got to do like the top 100 crimes of the BBC, all for 55. That I'm still in counselling for it. It's the worst thing ever, right? I mean, and honestly, I used to work in the Holocaust Memorial Museum with all these like horrific pictures of like Holocaust stuff. I still dislike. All for 55 more. I hope you stay to the end. Get that quip. My name's Phelan Mencken, the Rambo from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Mention it in the comments if you did, because I'm intrigued to see who hung on for that. Like, share, subscribe, comment, sign up my Substack, sign up my paid Substack, and have yourselves a fantastic day.